Hi everybody. So today I have to change the fire rope in the door of our stove, and while I do that I thought it would be a good opportunity to give a bit of feedback on the Esse Bakeheart stove that we've had for about 5 years. I've looked online, I've searched YouTube, and haven't really found that much feedback, very few reviews. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to just say how we've used it, how we've found this stove. So I'll give a bit of a review while I change the fire rope in the door. Alright, so let's pull this old rope out. So the reason I'm doing this is because it's just starting to let a bit of air through. And I've tried to fiddle with it a bit and got a little bit more life out of it, but ultimately it's just got a bit too compressed and it's time to change it. Alright, so here's the new rope. We'll just offer it up. And we'll cut it. Just here. Good. Then I've got a bit of heat-proof tape to just seal that end up. We'll just go around there. That should make a pretty good seal. Then I've got this rope seal adhesive, which will go around and stick in. Got to shake it first. There we are. Easy. And this just hooks on really easily into these little hooks. Done. So look, here we go. We've had this stove for 5 years. It's an Esse Bakeheart. So it's similar to, I think it's the Warm Heart, which is just a firebox like this with the rings, but this has an oven at the bottom. I spent a while searching for different stoves, looking at different stoves. What I really wanted was to have the ability to cook on the top, have a decent hot plate on the top, but also have an option of an oven. And a lot of the stoves that combine that went for a firebox, then the oven, then the hot plate, and everything that I could see implied that that would make the hot plate much more inefficient. It's just that further away from the fire. So I really wanted to be able to have direct contact with the fire in order to boil things, boil a kettle, cook on the top, but I also wanted an oven. And so I searched and there were a few options, but we had limited space. So it was really only this stove that was available to us. Now when I bought this, it had just come out. So this is the first version. I think the new version has got an air control here. This one doesn't. We've just got air control at the bottom here. Opens and closes the vents there. This is the first version. It had just come out. There wasn't any information on it. I still think this isn't that common a stove, as far as I know. I haven't seen many people talking about it. I haven't seen many reviews of it. But I would say it's a fantastic stove. It's certainly one of the best I've ever come across. We've got another wood burning stove in our living room. This is, I would say, 10 times better in terms of heat and efficiency. The hot plate is, I think, very usable. You can get a lot of heat, you can boil things very quickly, you can control the heat really well. So here we go, really simple. You can remove the rings to have, remove the rings here to have contact with fire. You can see that I spilt lots of oil and stuff on it. You know, we really do cook on here. It's a good surface to cook on. You can move your pots around to get different heats. Got, you know, a stack of cast iron things here. Okay, you can adjust the temperature just by moving the pot, as you can on any stove. So there we go, the oven. You can fit a lot in there. It's a deep oven. Good sized Dutch oven can go in there. There you go. Slide that out, there's the tray. Easily go in, in fact I can go all the way to the back. Fit another one in the front. So there's plenty of space for cooking in here if you want to. 3 shelves. Now the thing about the oven is that the heat is mainly radiant heat, so it comes down from the firebox. So you have your fire in here and you're getting heat coming down primarily. So yeah, you just got to think about positioning, think about moving your food a bit. So probably hot on this thermostat is about 200 degrees Celsius. You can do really nice slow cooking stuff in there. So the firebox itself, really decent size. Again, I guess the camera doesn't really do it justice, but this is deep. You can fit, you know, really long, that's my whole arm in there, really long logs in there, and get quite a lot in there as well. There's a build-up of ash here, but the depth is reasonable there too. So we've been able to heat our whole house with this stove. You can really get the solid cast iron heated up, and it will stay hot, for hours and hours and hours. So I think for 5 years, we've basically run the stove for 6 months of the year. That saved us a huge amount of money because I'm able to collect a lot of the firewood myself that we use for this. But what's really nice about this stove compared to our other stove is that I think it's much more efficient. You can control the time that it takes to burn the wood. You can control the burn in a much better way. Once you get it up to temperature, that cast iron just stays so hot. So yeah, there's times where we just don't let this go out. We'll put a final log in, at midnight or something, and can just get it going from the embers again at like 8 in the morning. So what are some of the issues? Well, we've had to change the fire rope. That's not bad, first time in 5 years. Had to change the glass, but that was user error, shall we say. Probably the biggest issue is the vermiculite on the inside, so the fire bricks. But I've had to change the top fire bricks twice so far. I think it's quite easy to smash them, but that's not necessarily a problem. You smash them and you replace them eventually. That's inevitable in any stove. The problem is getting the parts. Go on the Esse site and it's actually really hard to search for parts for this stove. Eventually I found like the bits on the Esse site through Google, and then it was for a different stove. It said it would probably fit. took ages to get it delivered, and then it didn't quite fit. I had to adapt it. The second time I replaced it, I ordered the part, same part from Esse, and it's taking 14 days or something to come. So I just bought a huge sheet of vermiculite and cut it to size. That was much cheaper, much more efficient, and I got it basically overnight. So that sort of issue with Esse is a bit of a problem. Same with the glass. When I needed to get it replaced, couldn't actually get it from the Esse site. Not that it matters, it's just a square piece of glass, so I got it from another stove manufacturing place. The other issue that we had with it, and do have with it, is that it's quite hard to light. I think that's due to the fact that we go straight out through this roof outside, so we've got a dual wall pipe straight away, and it's really easy to get stuck with cold air. So the first few times we tried to light it, we just smoked out the room until I worked out that you have to put in a reasonable amount of effort into getting the flue warm and then lighting the fire. So even kind of flash fires with paper, with kindling, didn't bump the cold air out. That's one of the reasons that we keep it going all the time, so you don't have to go to that hassle of having to warm up a cold flue. But when we do have to warm up a cold flue, I've experimented with different things, with blow torches. What I prefer is actually just a paint stripper gun, hot air gun. Just shove it in there, let it blow for a few minutes, and that's enough, and we get it lit. But getting the air flowing up the flue was a bit tricky at first. Like a lot of stoves, we started off opening the door to let air straight in, and smoked out the house a little bit. A tip that I discovered is that actually the oven is part of the airflow system, so you can control the airflow at the bottom here. That's fully open, that's closed. But actually, if you can shut the stove door and open the oven door, and that gets loads of air in really quickly straight up through the air entryway, which is right at the front of the stove here. And so that gives you a really good boost of air into the stove without allowing any smoke to come out. So if you have this stove, that's a really good technique to just get things going. Apart from that, this is a really, really fun stove to have. It's a really, really solid stove to have. The quality of the build is excellent. The amount of cast iron in here means that it does really hold the heat and pump it out. So 5 years with it. I would say it's probably the best stove I've come across. Really love the heat that it gives, really love cooking on it, really love cooking in the oven, cooking on top of it. And apart from some of the parts, if I break other things, slightly concerned that might struggle to get spare parts, but other sort of standard bits and bobs like glass, rope, vermiculite, easy enough to get elsewhere. Apart from that, I think it's a great stove.